the projects are huge because of just that. People are home, people are working on their houses, and 16.5 million people watched season 1.
What's up, everyone? Tania here with PopCulture.com, and today I'm so excited to welcome back the very talented HGTV designer and our friend Jasmine Roth. Jasmine, thanks so much for joining us again today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's been a while since we last spoke. I think last we spoke was it was a couple of months after Hazel was born. So, you've got a couple of milestones. I want to just congratulate you on first. First of all, it was her birthday. Like a couple of
when we started filming this season 2 of Help I Wreck My House, she had a birthday, her first birthday.
Yeah, she's gotten so big, and I love seeing the pictures on Instagram. Like, I feel like she's a star in her own right. Like, she's just becoming like this like mega star. It's so cute. So she's as stylish as you too. So like, how has she been doing? Like, what's her personality like? I feel like as a little
wait. I have to correct you there. She is more stylish than I am. Like, I always laugh. I'm like jeans and t-shirt, right? Like I'll get dressed up, but she's like, she has all the clothes. And the funny thing is most of them are gifts. Like, people are so generous, and they love, because they follow her, because they, see her, that I actually put her in things that they're constantly like friends, family, and even like strangers are like buying her clothes, which I think is so cute.
How much fun is it to dress up a little girl? I feel like it's so much fun because there's so many things to play with, and like styles, and like even the little headbands are so cute. Like, I don't think we had those in our
she's
days.
One of those babies that you can put in anything and she just like rocks it. And even a hat, she'll keep a hat on. Like, it's the cutest thing. But it's a lot of fun. All my friends keep telling me, they're like, just enjoy it. They're like, wait till she has an opinion. And I'm like, okay, but until then, I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, what's her personality like? I feel like, when you're a 1-year-old, you start to like, they're examining the world and they're seeing stuff. Like, what's she like right now?
Yeah, so she's 16 months right now. She was like a late walker, but an early talker. So she has all the words. She puts together sentences, full on communicates, which I think is the cutest thing. So it's just like, her personality is really silly, which I love. I'm kind of silly too. So she's really silly. She's really sweet. And very like intentional. So she's not one of those kids that just like runs and you have to worry about them like running off like down the stairs or anything like that. Not that she wouldn't, but like she's very intentional, which I think is nice as a parent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think she also looks a lot like Brett. Like, there are certain pictures, like the side view and the angles and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a carbon copy. Like, she looks exactly like him. It's so cute. So, another thing I want to congratulate you on too is your first book, House Story, which is available September 28th. And it covers the insider secrets of the perfect home reno. But it also acts like the perfect companion to all your shows. So what can fans expect from the book, and how does it differ from the shows?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I mean, becoming an author is definitely a big bucket list item for me, but I really poured so much time and my heart and just like knowledge into this book. So it is, it's kind of like taking my shows and just slowing them down. Yeah. And, I give a lot of tips and tricks and everything like that on the shows. As we talk about budget, we talk about, all these different things as far as renovations go, but it's fast. And you're watching it, and like, unless you like paused it and really thought about it, the nice thing about a book is it's so tangible, and it's so like, it's literally like a workbook in a lot of ways that, you can actually use this book. It has checklists. It's basically all the knowledge and what I do with my clients, really just like pared down, put in print. And I think that readers are going to really appreciate it. The other thing is this book is really personal. And the reason is I didn't photograph any of my HGTV projects. So all of the photographs are actually photos of my other projects I've been working on. Particularly this house that I'm sitting in right now that we just moved into a year ago. I saved it and haven't really posted it anywhere. So the book will be the first time that people get to see this house that we live in now.
That's so sweet. I feel like that is like exactly like the way your heart is, and you want to show it to the world. You kind of project it, because I know you've done a lot with your blog as well, that you kind of used to show your, on your blog, but like now we have everything sort of organized, and it's more like we can take it with us. And like you said, like there's checklists, which is perfect. What is the biggest takeaway you want readers to, have with this guide? Because it is so helpful. I feel like it's going to be very insightful.
Yeah. And, the thing that we get into that I really like about this book is we start out by identifying a reader's design style. And it's, a design style is something that is like inherently your own. And I encourage, the readers to really figure out what their design style is and then like own it. And so for anything else you do, whether it's like painting a wall or buying art or going vintage shopping or like ground up new construction, whatever it is that you're doing, you kind of always go back to that design style and make sure that it's in line with what you chose at the very beginning. And with that, hopefully your end product will look really like almost like a professional. And that's what I do with my clients. So I think to give readers the opportunity to do that on their own is going to be really cool.
Yeah. And, let's talk about Help I Wrecked My House season 2, because I loved last season. It was so good. I got to watch the first episode as well. And we're just so excited for the show to come back, because I feel like all of us are still sort of in this weird rhythm of being home, and we still want to like fix our houses and do the DIY, lifestyle. And, what can fans expect from the renos this year compared to last?
Yeah. This season is big.
Yeah.
The projects are huge because of just that. People are home, people are working on their houses, and 16.5 million people watched season 1 because they were home and because it was really applicable to what was going on in their lives. That's why we're like, oh, we got to do season 2. We got to do it right away, because this is like something that, it applies to so many people, whether it's a small little project or it's like a huge, big construction project. Either way, this show can help your DIY endeavors. So, I think, the takeaway for this season is that so many people applied to be on the show. We did 8 houses, 8 families that like, basically there were people we just like couldn't say no to. We were like, oh my God, you did what? Like, of course we're going to help you. So big projects, houses that like, unlike, I've never seen anything like it. And then houses that just really needed a lot of help and families that needed a lot of help. I think the other takeaway is this season, I didn't really let anybody off the hook. Like, I definitely, I realized that like in season 1, I kind of made light of a lot of things. And I don't know if that was the right move, because it made it, when you wreck your house, it's usually not intentional, but it's kind of a big deal. And so I wanted to make sure that, these families this season really understood the why and like how they got to where they were, and to make sure that like coming out of it, not only did they understand the construction side of things, but they understood kind of the mindset that they had to be in to not have that happen to them again. So, I really kind of get in there with these families and help them solve not just their house problems, but some other problems as well.
Can you tease what the biggest thing is that fans can expect to see, especially coming up? Because I know that so many people, like, it's so great to see that HGTV was like, I think one of the biggest networks people were watching last year, because we were home, we had nothing to do. And then everyone got inspired. And like, you go to Home Depot, you go to Rona or whatever, all places, like everything's gone because everyone is buying things. And so like, what can you tease anything that's really mega that we should be expecting, or anything that you can actually just kind of hint to us that we should see?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So there's a few things. So the first thing is like on all the shows I've ever done, I haven't spent a lot of time ever doing like main bedrooms. So we've done a lot of kitchens, and we're still doing kitchens. Don't worry. We've done a ton of kitchens. I've done on Hidden Potential. I used to do a lot of exteriors, which was, I love doing landscaping and exteriors, and there's still some exteriors this season. But the thing that I'm really proud of that's different is that we did get into some main bedroom designs, whether it's like the main suite with, the bed and the walk-in closet and the bathroom attached. And so, I'm really excited about that, because I think so many people are stuck at home or have spent so much time at home that rethinking their main suite and like their bedding and like the drapes and the just everything that goes into a bedroom, that can make a big difference. So I'm really excited because we did some really good bedrooms. And then the other thing that I think people should be aware of that is just like these projects are, each one is different. So like the episode that aired last night in the US was, the episode that aired last night had a family who had gotten, I don't know, like halfway, a quarter of the way through reframing their house, and they took down walls and all of that. But there's other houses. I mean, one of our families, they tried to build an addition by themselves. They ripped off the entire back of their house and started rebuilding and adding to their house with no previous construction knowledge.
That's so crazy.
I mean, this is what we were dealing with this year. So, yeah, it gets wild. The other thing is I broke my ankle during the show. So I don't know how much we're going to see of it, just because we have so much to deal with as far as construction and like actual, beautiful houses to show. But I did break my ankle. And so that's something you can look out for as well.
Has it healed up? Like, are you okay right now?
I mean, I've got a lace-up ankle brace on it right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in physical therapy 3 times a week. I can't run. I can't jump. So yeah, it was a pretty legit break.
Yeah.
And that was on April 28th. So yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. The thing also, you mentioned hidden potential. Like, I know that a lot of the homeowners, they get very emotional. And I remember in that, that show, a lot of the homeowners got emotional seeing the stuff. They would start to cry. And I'm sure they do it with this show as well. So like, was there anything this season that was like emotional for you when you were watching their reaction back? Because I'm sure for you, it's like a connection you built with the family as well.
Yeah, there was one family who they moved into a house. They had a baby at the time, and they also had a teenager. And so those were their 2 daughters, and they moved in thinking that they would like renovate quickly. But with a baby, all of your extra time is taken up. And with a teenager, I mean, you have like both ends of like the you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And they had given, so it was a 2-bedroom house. They gave both the bedrooms to their girls, and they took over what was like a converted garage den as their own bedroom. It didn't have a door. It had a laundry room and the kitchen pantry in their bedroom. And they had they had been there for years like that. Mm-hmm. And so when I met them, their story was so compelling, and it hit home, because I said, why have you not, what happened? Like, why have you been living like this for as long as you have? Yeah. And they were like, honestly, like all of our time just goes to our girls and it goes to our kids. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, my daughter, and so I started crying. And so, I think, that family, seeing the sacrifices that they had made to be just present and to be good parents, and how that had affected everything else in their relationship and, their work. They couldn't sleep good at night. Like, there was just so much that went into it. The stories that we dig into and the families that we dig into this season are especially emotional. And I think, I couldn't help but see myself in a lot of these families. Yeah. So, I think that was probably the one where we were all crying. Everybody was crying. Even the camera.
I know we're all going to be watching with tissue boxes, because like there are really emotional moments on some of these HGTV shows that I just love, and like they really tug at you. So like I know I always have to have like a tissue Kleenex box next to me. But before I do let you go, I know a lot of us have been home and we're trying to save money, getting in DIY more than ever, but they're not always easy. And we get to see that with Help I Wreck My House season 2. So what are 3 hard truths we need to know about DIYs before we actually do it ourselves?
Good question. I think the first one is that, my intention is not to ever dissuade someone from like trying something. I think you need to be confident and you want to work on your own house. And I think that's great. So I think the first truth is that like you can change your house and you can do it on a budget and you can do it yourself. You just need to know your boundaries, and you need to know where your limits are and not bite off more than you can chew. And if you can stay within that threshold of what you're actually capable of, you will do a really good job. So that's the first truth. The second one is that never, ever, ever under any circumstances should you touch plumbing or electrical yourself. Right. I mean, it's that simple. Like it needs to be done by a professional. It's dangerous. It's the real deal. And it's worth it. Every penny you spend on professional electricians and plumbers will be worth it in the end. And the third one is that, let's see, stick to your own style. Like the truth is, if you do something and you like it, then that's a success. If you do something because you think you're supposed to be doing it because it's stylish or somebody else told you that's what you're supposed to do, no, you're not going to like it in the end. And so if it's your house, do it your way.
Perfect. Jasmine, as always, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It's always been such a pleasure. This has been such an incredibly insightful, interview. And I know that our viewers are going to be so happy to hear all this advice from you as well. So, guys, Help, I Wrecked My House airs Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on HGTV. For more with Jasmine and how to get her new book, House Story, keep it locked to popculture.com for the absolute latest.